Welcome back. We're dubbing over episodes still.
Yep.
So this is the third attempt at this mission. I think we were discussing maybe playing through some of it, but I was like, no, I think I can get this. This isn't that bad. Compared to some of the other bullcrap I've been through, I can finish this one.
Yeah.
Like the sniping mission, man. How many times did I die on that during the episode?
Oh, well.
It was a lot. I feel like I tried that part like 10 times before I managed to get through it.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know how much of it you actually left in the final episode, since I haven't seen them after you edit them, but.
Well, I don't know. Like, the thing is that I put all of them in that episode, and then the next episode I just skipped that entire segment because it was pretty obvious. The last one we did, I think, maybe one of the last ones, anyways. I succeeded at sniping them all.
Yeah, and then
Hero died.
And then this guy that you're trying to murder here got killed because he got surrounded by enemies.
So I just figured, like, I've already been successful at this part.
Yeah, everyone knows how this part goes.
People have seen it enough times to be sick of it.
Yes, anyone who watched the last episode knows how this part goes.
This is the episode before last time now.
Yeah. Yeah, this time you're doing a lot better here, because he's almost...
Yep.
You've still got half your health.
That's what I was saying in the last episode. It was a matter of trying to divide up the damage between myself and my ally.
And now you have apparently done so. And he is completely confused by human morality and honor.
And Jack is still racist. He's like, I don't like you or your kind, but I'm gonna do the right thing.
And now you've got the best unit in the game that you can use now.
Oh, is the 1S there the best unit in the game?
Pretty much. The only other one that's maybe comparable is the YF1R, which is a non-canon design, which I think was all like the gimmick explained about it being was like that it's got like an autocannon in the head as well as the couple head lasers, but of course the head lasers aren't really used at all in this, and it's like it might even have less armor than the 1S. Yeah,
I remember, like, that was what I was complaining about. This is, like, better at everything, except for missiles. Missiles are the same. But its armor gets even lower.
Yeah, and then there's Rick's design, which is way too white. And then it's not as generic as generic. So you just go back to the usual one.
After my fight with Hero,
cutscene.
he and I were constantly at each other's throats. Commander Chase wasn't too pleased with me, and she was even less happy with Hero. I'm sure that our punishment would have been severe under normal circumstances, but the Zentradi threat was escalating beyond control now, and Commander Chase needed all the experienced pilots she could get.
I remember commenting on how beefy Hero looked there.
Yeah.
This guy's huge.
It looked like she was going to recover.
And Izzy gets to sit out all of this in the hospital.
Hero and me. I know she wouldn't have wanted to see us fighting, but there didn't seem to be anything I could do about it.
Stop being so injured and help us.
Heal our emotional wounds of brotherhood shattered.
It was a wake-up call for all of us. After Dolza's armada had been defeated, I thought that maybe we'd have a chance to live in peace again. But those hopes were gone now. War had come to the wasteland. We knew that we couldn't protect the frontier towns anymore, so Chase gave the order for a wide-scale evacuation. Civilians were brought to Base 6 for shelter and protection.
Oh, right.
Yeah, these missions.
Hold on. Let's get through the cutscene.
We started to hear rumors about a mysterious Zentradi city, where Zaral had chosen to make his headquarters. To make matters worse, Zaral had discovered an intact Zentradi carrier left over from the war, stocked full of battle pods, re-entry pods, power armor, more than enough weapons and equipment to supply his army.
A veritably infinite supply.
Every day, more renegade Zentradi flocked to join his growing army. These weren't simple scavengers raiding towns for supplies anymore. Under Zaral's command, heavily armed forces were hitting civilian and RDF targets all across the wasteland. And they were winning.
I remember joking about that guy being all hip and edgy and, like, non-canonical.
And I was commenting that, oh, maybe he showed up in the novels, because we don't read the novels. And who knows? At the very least, this is, like, somewhere else on the planet Earth anyway, so...
Yep.
So it could be all, like, while the guys in the Macross are all dealing with, their groups of Zentradi and whatnot, it's all like, meanwhile, elsewhere on the planet, this guy is being annoying to the survivors.
Yep. Well, I mean, honestly speaking, since this is a game and it's its own narrative with its own characters, you know, Jack's got to have his own antagonist here.
Yeah.
He can't be the one who takes down the final boss of this series. Like, that would just be like, well, why'd you make Jack so goddamn important?
Yeah.
So, like, here's an enemy that Jack can beat. But yeah. Now, I remember also discussing right around now, that little cutscene there with all this interpersonal drama between Jack, Hero, and Izzy there. I was like, man, it's kind of a bummer that, like, they didn't really, like, put a little more stock into the story of the game. Because, it just, like, you're sort of just experiencing everything, like, third-person sense through Jack. And he's just like, I was sad when Izzy was hurt. And it's like, okay, good for you. We barely know her.
Yes, the classic show don't tell.
And so I feel like it wouldn't have been that hard for the game to have, like, you know, tried to put a little bit more emphasis into, oh yeah, if you blow this up when those guys are leaving, they blow up with it, which is cool.
Yes, because they weren't quite their own separately spawned entities just yet, I guess.
I guess. But yeah, no, I just thought it'd be cool if, like, they'd had a little bit more input into the story and a little bit more, like, characterization and character interaction, so that when something happens, like, oh no, we're not friends with Hero anymore, like, that means a little bit more. And when Izzy gets injured, we're like, ah, crap, Izzy's injured. Instead of just being like, Jack was like, oh crap, Izzy's injured. And then we're like, okay, I guess. I mean, I don't really care. I have no attachment to these characters.
She's injured. This is gonna make my battles more difficult because I don't have another person here helping me shoot at things.
Or something. Yeah, I think one of the things I referenced in this argument was Star Fox. Because, like, you know, even with someone like Falco, even though he was kind of a jerk and kind of a rude kind of character, he was still sort of a cool rival pilot. Like, he had the personality, and every time he showed up, people were like, ah, Falco. But, you know, that was fun because he had that character.
He's being abrasive so as to not be, like, just, like, too friendly.
But, you know, it gave him character and personality, so if something happened to Falco, you'd be like, oh, man, I know that guy.
Yeah.
You know, the same thing happens with, like, Slippy and Peppy. Is like, you know, even if you don't like them, you know who they are. They've been around this whole time. You care a little bit about their existence, so that, like, if something happens to them in the story, you're like, oh, that means something to me.
Yes.
That was my team, those were my co-pilots. And this, they're just like, I had a team. And then you do, like, 10 missions alone.
Yeah. Again, maybe there were some novels that expanded on their
You think Jack is big in the freaking sort of, like, fan fiction universe?
In the expanded universe novels, like, maybe.
I don't freaking know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I kind of feel like they made him up for this game.
Probably.
And so he exists nowhere outside of this game.
Yeah, I mean, unless there were some,
probably the same.
Yeah, I mean, unless there were some other some novels written after the game that used the after the game came out that the novels include more.
Yeah, I remember somewhere around here I was a little happy that Hero finally showed up because I'm like,
yeah,
almost dead. These guys just keep coming with their missiles and crap.
Yeah, and I believe I suggested that he actually did do this thing of staying back, trying to let you get yourself killed, just so that he could be all like, ha, loser. That's what you get for not letting me kill that one Zentradi back there.
That'd be really petty and uncool of him.
Yes, the sort of thing where it's like, the guy who's supposed to be your ally basically dooms the entire team
To settle a grudge.
Yes, just so that so you know what you did, and this is payback for that. It's all like, you're really doing this now, right now, when we're in trouble, when we're at risk of all dying horribly.
Mm-hmm. You betcha. You know, what do you think they mean when people say revenge is a dish best served cold? Do they mean that, like, it should stay out for a long time until it's just nice and cool, and then you're like, haha, vengeance. Or, because when I was growing up, I kept hearing that in, like, cartoons and stuff, and I thought they meant that, like, I thought they were saying that, like, you know, trying to tell people to cool out, you know, like, don't, just let it sit. You know, just let it go. You know what I mean? Like, it was sort of an anti-revenge sentiment. But now I'm sort of wondering, like, is it sort of like a pro-revenge sentiment? Like, wait till it's good and savorable. Let it fester.
Yeah, because alternatively, it's the revenge is being served hot, and what does that mean then?
I don't know. I mean, the obvious answer is that it's fresh. This is some fresh vengeance. It's like, you know, you piss me off, and then, like, later that day I just stab you in the back, and I'm like, yeah, revenge. Served warm.
That just sounds kind of silly.
Yeah, it is still silly. Yeah, I remember I was pretty happy with this mission, just because, like, I'm pretty sure I beat this on my first try. We'll find out soon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did, because I don't remember you having to do it a second time.
Yeah.
But regardless, yeah, it's just...
But, like, you know, this isn't easy by any means, but, like, you know, I found out that you could pretty well blow up these ships there before they let out their guys.
Yeah, and
sometimes when they do let out their guys, you can usually kill the guys if you just save a few missiles for them.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, usually the enemies seem to get
I was
off
really
a
worried
shot.
here if this was a good cutscene or a bad cutscene, because it's getting real close there. And then this thing's flying off smoking. Or was it smoking here?
It might have been smoking. Because
It was smoking a little bit in that first scene. I remember one of these cutscenes ended with a thing smoking, flying away, and I was like, oh god, it was really close to dead, wasn't it?
Probably.
But yeah, there's that. Let's see, how are we doing on time? Looks like we ended this episode pretty soon here. I'm not sure. What are we talking about here? Why are we sitting on this screen for so long? Maybe I was talking about how I got a silver cross, and I was like, hey, that's cool.
That sounds important.
I mean, yay, a new award. And then I saved, and then I probably double saved, because that's just what I do.
Because you're busy talking and not paying attention to the fact that you saved.
If you press A again. Never mind, it looks like I nailed it. I don't know. This episode's pretty much over. I don't know why it's going on this long. Why did we sit here for so long? Oh well, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna come back next time on Operation Pixel for Narrow Escape, so we'll just cut it here.